and do the groceries already exhausted, and then you get home and you have to put the groceries away. I just don't want to. So instead, I'm going to have my morning macca, eat the end of an almond croissant, and pick my next read. Because I can procrastinate reading instead of doing that. Nice plan. You're on the ground. This is my Shorty September pile. It goes beyond that as well. But last night I had a quick look and I was tossing up between... This is for beautiful cover. I think that's a beautiful cover. This is set in the Caribbean, I think. To do Jamaica. So there's that one. There's this, which I've had there for ages, which really interests me. This would be for a translated thing. It's translated from the German, I'm guessing. This would be for translated. And it's kind of about this, well, what's a vagabond? Is it a guy who doesn't have a home, or just, it's a kind of roams around? So that would be cool. I'm just looking at the other two. I had a Louise Erdrich book here, which, yeah, I would really like to give another try to this author, because Sean, close your ears if you're watching, but I didn't like the sentence. But I don't think I have the energy to work my way through that. I think the minute it moved into the territory that I didn't like about the sentence, which was all of just the messiness of it. Messiness. I mean, it's orchestrated and, you know, I value the author's work. I just think for me, it was just a little all over the place. I'd put it away. I'd just be like, I can't do it. So let's put that there. And then I've got Sight, which would be, what's this for? Book I'll regret. The play suit shorts. I think I giggled about that when I put that on there. Well done, Shorty September team. But this is a motherhood one, and I think the regret would be just because I'll cry. I think it will be quite touching for me. So I don't want to cry. Okay, there we go. I think I want to, yeah. There we go. Decision made. I want to read about Jamaica and these people that are in love but go away from each other and then come back together in some way. And, I mean, I've never read this author before, but I have a signed copy that's made out to somebody other than me that I can't. Aww. Well, oh my goodness. Hang on. I need to get you off the floor for this. Okay, right. So this, I can't read the name, but it says, to somebody whose stories are my delightful surprises, much love Rachel, which is a beautiful thing. It starts with a D, right? That name starts with a D. This book is about two people. The man in it is Daniel. And Daniel becomes a prize-winning poet. Could she have written this book about a person that she knows and then sent him a signed copy, and then he ditched it and I found it in a charity shop? Is that the story that I've just made up about how this book came to me? I like it. It's a good story about how it came to me. Oh my gosh. I'm feeling all the things right now. Because this is a love story between two people. Maybe she's the female. Oh my God. Time will tell. Well, I'll never know. Time's not going to tell. I'll never know. But I like that story and I'm going to stick with it. That is the backstory to this book getting in my hands. That makes me really want to read it now, and definitely not want to put away my groceries. I'm going to sit by the fire, eat my croissant. I'll talk to you when I've gotten into it.
fives.
Did you get 4 5s?
4 5, yes.
Oh my goodness.
And I have 2 more rolls. Yes, a Yahtzee!
High five. The kid just totally whipped my butt in Yahtzee. He got a Yahtzee on the first roll and a Yahtzee on the second roll, so I stood no chance. I've got this on. I'm going to do this and listen to a podcast. I'm going to listen to a podcast called Commune. I don't know, it was recommended to me. Something about a dodgy commune in New Zealand, 12-part series, so I could totally get sucked into that. So I'll put my headphones on and do that.
Mama,
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can we go run outside in the rain with the top?
Yes. Oh my god, that's so good. Gets them out of the house. It's a really rainy, horrible day. I don't know if you can see it, but... And it was a rainy, horrible day yesterday, and they were just on screens, and I've just said no screens, and they just kind of sit and stare at me. So that's positive. I was saying, I'm just going to do this and cook along the way. I've got to clean out the fridge along the way and the pantry and just kind of be in the kitchen for a couple of hours. So, oh, that's what I was going to do. These mother and 2 daughters that do pottery that sell at the markets where I go to get my groceries, and I got these gorgeous brooches. I got an amazing pottery spoon, gifts, and then for me, because she said it was the last one with this glaze, look at this cup. Isn't it gorgeous? I just adore it, and sip my tea, and oh, I think it's just beautiful. So that's made me really happy this morning. So I need to get this done, and then I can have a cup of tea. I have my new teacup. Oh, glorious. Okay, it's time to listen to some podcast about a commune wacko, which we like. I did it. I didn't get to listen to much of my podcast because, you know, the little ones came in and decided to cook themselves burgers for lunch. But oh, you gotta see this. It's a thing of beauty. Oh, we are stacked up. That delicious green organic food makes it worth it. I've been doing groceries and putting them away since 8 o'clock this morning. It's now 1 o'clock. It's 5 hours to do that. To clean things out, to chop things up, to get everything organised, stock the fridge. I mean, honestly, that's a long time. I've never actually measured that. I think that doesn't make me feel excited with my life. Okay, it's done now. I'm going to sit for a bit, have a cup of tea out of my new cup. That's what I was going to do. And maybe start the book. We'll see how we go. But 5 hours. That's way too long. I gotta work out some efficiency measures in that. I've read 2 pages of The Black Peacock. If I'm to stick with my little desired schedule, I need to read about, 90 to 100 pages tonight. So here, let's get to there. Right now I'm right at the start. But I figure after I feed them a big dinner, surely I can have a break to read when they're not hungry. Sure. That's for then. Yes, there you go.
That's your last clue.
Hi, Sunday morning. It's Father's Day today. And we're stuck inside because the wind is ice cold. So we're by the fire. Still haven't folded those clothes. I've spent the morning in the kitchen, and that seems to be where my day will go. And we played Trivial Pursuit, and I had to kind of call a time out on that because it's a long ass game. I'll show you what I'm going to cook for lunch. Oh, I'll show you this too. I've been having cups of tea out of my new cup that I got yesterday. It's so nice. I'm going to make another one now. I think I've had about 4 cups of tea already today. Making Can you read that? German pork hocks for lunch. In fact, I probably need to get them on now. But my butcher had them yesterday and they were $8 each. And he gave me his recipe that he uses, and you boil them and then you roast them in the oven. You boil them with juniper berries and then and peppercorns and bay leaves, and then you rub caraway seeds with salt on the crackle. So that'll be very interesting. So I'm going to make that for lunch. Put a brisket on for dinner. I just try and get through with these kids stuck inside. Fitzy doesn't do well stuck inside. That's my day. In terms of reading, which is what we're supposed to be talking about, I have read no more of The Black Peacock, and that makes me sad. I really want to. This part of the vlog is just me going to be trying to fit reading in around children and honouring fathers for Father's Day. And the honouring I do through cooking, so wish me luck. Not on reading on the pork knuckle. It didn't really work because I forgot to turn them, A, and B, I have a shit oven. So we might try this again when I get my kitchen renovation in about 10 years time. But in the meantime, I've got this big bit of meat sitting in front of me because the boys didn't want any. Only up to page 16. This book is very wordy, very, very wordy. And I love classic wordy kind of descriptive books, but this is hard to get into wordy, so I'm just going to persist. Yeah, it's not the easy Sunday read that I probably need when I don't have much time to read. But anyway, we're doing the best we can. Wish me luck with that big hunk of meat. Holy moly. Pork knuckle update. Delicious, and had to go and get a beer because it was just all about salty, fatty, beery things. This is our new beer snack. Oh, so salty goodness. Totally not good for you. Hey, it's Father's Day. The carnivore in me lasted 2 seconds. And I've given it to my son, who is now gnawing on it like he's a caveman. And I went and got the roast veggies, made a salad. Way too much meat and fat, holy moly. This is more my jam. This is the time in the afternoon that I hate. Can you hear this? Can you hear it? It's the sound of football. It's gonna go all afternoon. So boring. I'm gonna go and get my noise cancelling headphones and put on my reading music. Drown this out. I'm slowly starting to get into this book. It's 2 different points of view, Daniel and Lethe. Daniel's is like when they met, they're in their 50s now and reunited. They met at university. So that's his point of view, is those chapters are back then, and her point of view is current day. So that's pretty cool. I like that. I'm starting to get into it now. But I'm not going to be able to read with that crap in the background. I'll be back. Guys, I'm not going to make it. I'm on page 83. I've got another 100 pages to go. And it's, 7 o'clock, so super close to my bedtime. But it's just been a day of being up and down and not good solid reading time, so I just haven't been able to get through. Plus, this book is the result of a poet writing a novel. This has happened to me a couple of times before, and I was trying to think of the examples. But the wordiness, the, what is it? I don't know, the metaphors, the, you know, everything's like something. It's not that bad. I mean, I'm really enjoying the story, but it's very wordy. And yeah, it's a lot. So it's not just a fast-paced kind of easy read. It's like a sit and consider kind of read. So that takes a little longer for me. I mean, it's just kind of piecing the story of these two people that have come back together in their 50s. And I'm enjoying that. I am. But there's no way I'm going to finish that tonight. I'm just here to let you know. And somebody's just arrived, so there's no hope. No hope at all. So that's just letting you know that that's where. Hi. It's Monday afternoon. I am in bed. It's day one of my bleed today, so I had to show up for work this morning. And now I'm going to spend the afternoon in bed. Danny is taking care of everything else, and that makes me so happy. Still doing this. I'm there. I read a bit more this morning. We're on page 111, so I've only got 70 pages to go. I'm enjoying it, and I'm surprised by this kind of bit of suspense that's coming in. Like, I don't know if there's no mystery to solve or anything like that, but I kind of want to know how it all played out, because they've both got kids. So they didn't marry each other. They're only just coming back together. Yeah, just kind of as we're slowly getting to understand how their lives were together and then how their lives separated. Yeah, I'm finding I'm hooked on knowing that story. Again, it's super wordy. We drop in and out of the wordiness, so I get some straight kind of character-driven narrative every now and then, which is keeping me going. But yeah, I can't promise I won't drop off to sleep. This is what I don't like with Your Perspective, is it was okay up until this point when the guy's perspective was from the past and the woman's perspective was from present day, but now they're overlapping in the time frames, and he is wondering about things that we've already been told by her in the chapters before, and even somebody passed away and he is still talking about that person as if she's still alive, like in what he's recounting to us, she's still alive. So I get when it's, you know, I get when it's books where we're hearing two different perspectives of the same thing. But up until now, what's driven the story along is this how did they meet kind of component from the past, and what happened that they went their separate ways, and then what it's like now that they're meeting back up again as 50-year-old beings. And that's kind of been great how that's kind of been presented. But there's still plenty to discover in both different timelines, and pulling them both together so their perspectives are from the same time, I don't know. I think it's a mistake because it's frustrating me, because I'm like, okay, I already know this. Why do I have to read this again? Okay, cool, I got it. You know? And because the author is, you know, invested in setting me up in two places now, and now she's bringing me back to the one. I don't know. This could just be a moment in the book, and it could go back to where I need it to go back to. But yeah, Your Perspectives are always tricky for me. bath. I'd pan down, but that wouldn't be good. Here, I can pan across. This is what I look at from my outdoor bath. It's magnificent. I decided to have it because I saw the sun streaming down on it and I wanted to sit in the sun. And I've got to finish this damn book, and there was no way I was going to just sit and do it because I'm not really caring about it at the moment. Like, it's not engaging me. So I thought if I was in the bath in this beautiful setting, then that might entice me to read. So join me while I have my outdoor bath. I've got my cup of tea and I'm gonna finish this darn book. Let's do it. I was determined to finish this book in the bath, and I've done that, but it's cold now. The sun's not out anymore. The grey clouds are here. I'm freezing. So I'm gonna get out and then I'll tell you my thoughts. Not that I have many. Okay, I've gotten out of the bath and made that cream, that skin cream earlier, and I just put it all over my body and it's just delightful. I smell like, I didn't put any essential oils in there. I was supposed to put rose, jasmine, ylang ylang and patchouli in there, and I didn't. Oh, that's terrible. It needs oils. Okay, right. So I've done that and I don't smell gorgeous with essential oils. This is the Shorty September translated, no, beautiful cover. The Runway fashion shorts. And this was an indulgence for the author, is all I can think about. It was words for word's sake, and sometimes the words were beautiful and sometimes they were just there for show. And that made for a reading experience that for a 180 page book took me just so long because I was exhausted. Every time I finished a little reading session, I was tired because the effort that goes into reading words for word's sake is a lot, right? It's the story of two people who are in love, but are kind of they're writers, so they kind of say they're each other's muses. Well, she is his muse and he is her mentor. They become very entwined in each other's families, and it's kind of like this, love that's never been consummated or acknowledged in the traditional way, but they just are in this life for each other. It's set in Jamaica, I think. Yeah, it's set in Jamaica. I don't know. It's just about how they met, how they came together, and how they went apart. And this is them on Peacock Island, where it's sort of the end of their days, and they come together and finish off their books or whatever they're doing. I don't know, because all the words are talking about peacocks, and I don't know what the words are talking about. The sea, I don't know. It's just a lot of words. So while I acknowledge the beauty in putting together this story, it's not one that the way that it was told didn't really suit how I like to read. And yeah, for me, it was like a poet writing a novel, and sometimes that works, and for me, this didn't work. So, 3 stars. It was a meh book. Yeah. So that's the end. We finally did it. We finally got through a 180 page book. Oh my goodness. But it is a beautiful cover. Don't you admit? Okay, that's the end of the vlog. We're done. We did it. Yay! I'll see you in the next one.